Waking up with a dagger and a letter next to your bed. Sounds like something out of a horror movie. Let's find out why this happened. The assassins, originally called Hashishim, Hashishin, or Hashishian, were a religious sect of Ismaili Shia Muslims, from the Nizari lineage, originating in Persia, during the 11th century CE. This secret society was known to specialize in terrorizing the Crusaders, against whom they fearlessly executed political assassinations. Their militant views were put into practice for various political or religious purposes. However, their efforts were not primarily directed at Crusaders, but also against Muslim rulers whom they saw as impious usurpers. The modern word, assassin, is derived from this group, which was thought to have been active from 1090 to 1272. The group inspired terror out of all proportion to their scant numbers and territory. The members were organized into rigid classes, based upon their initiation into the secrets of the order. The devotees constituted a class that sought martyrdom and followed orders with unquestioned devotion, orders which included assassination. The group transformed the act of murder into a system directed largely against Seljuk Muslim rulers who had been persecuting their sect. They were meticulous in killing the targeted individual, seeking to do so without any additional casualties and innocent loss of life, although they were careful to cultivate their terrifying reputation by slaying their victims in public, often in mosques. Typically they approached using a disguise, and they rejected poison, bows, and other weapons that allowed the attacker to escape, their weapon of choice being a dagger. For unarmed combat, the Hashishin practiced a fighting style called Jana, which incorporates striking techniques, grappling, and low kicks. However, under no circumstances did they commit suicide, preferring to be killed by their captors. Although apparently known as early as the 8th century, the foundation of the assassins is usually marked as 1090 CE. When Hassan I Saba established his stronghold in the Dalim Mountains south of the Caspian Sea at Alamut. Hassan set the aim of the assassins to destroy the power of the Abbasid Caliphate by murdering its most powerful members. Much of the current Western lore surrounding the assassins stems from Marco Polo's supposed visit to Alamut in 1273 CE, which is widely considered fictional, especially as the stronghold had reportedly been destroyed by the Mongols in 1256. If you want to know more about the Mongolians, check out our video, link is in the description down below. The Hashishin were often motivated by outsiders. The murder of the Patriarch of Jerusalem, for example, was instigated by the Hospitallers. It is rumored the assassins of Conrad of Montferrat may have even been hired by Richard the Lionheart. In most cases they were aimed at retaining the balance of the Hashishin's enemies. Legends abound as to the tactics used to induct members into what became a quasi-religious political organization. One such legend is that future assassins were subjected to rites similar to those of other mystery cults in which the subject was made to believe that he was in imminent danger of death. But the twist of the assassins was that they drugged the person to simulate a dying, to later have them awaken in a garden flowing with wine and served a sumptuous feast by virgins. The supplicant was then convinced he was in heaven and that the cult's leader, Hassan I Saba, was a representative of the divinity and that all of his orders should be followed, even unto death. This legend derives from Marco Polo, who visited Alamut after it fell to the Mongols in the 13th century. There are also, possibly apocryphal, stories that they used their well-known deadliness for political goals without necessarily killing. For example, a victim, usually high-placed, might one morning find a Hashishin dagger lying on their pillow upon awakening. This was a plain hint to the targeted individual that he was safe nowhere, that maybe even his inner group of servants had been infiltrated by the cult, and that whatever course of action had brought him into conflict with them would have to be stopped if he wanted to live. The power of the Hashshishan was destroyed by the Mongol warlord Hulagu Khan. During the Mongol assault of Alamut on December 15, 1256, the library of the sect was destroyed, along with much of their power base, and thus much of the sect's own records were lost. Most accounts of them stem from the highly reputable Arab historians of the period. The Syrian branch of Hashshishan was destroyed in 1273 by Mamluk Sultan Baybars. The Hashshishan, in 1275, captured and held Alamut for a few months, but their political power was lost and they were eventually absorbed into other Ismailite groups. They continued being used under the Mamluks, Ibn Battuta recording in the 14th century their fixed rate of pay per murder. Although it sounds like the assassins were no more, we all know they just became more secretive and more advanced through times. Thanks for watching.